It 2017 is directed by Andy Muschietti and stars Bill Skarsgård as Pennywise. The film tells a story about a group of kids who in the town of Derry are terrorized by a killer clown, and they must do everything in their power to stop him from killing any more children. I remember when this movie first came out, I did a bunch of trailer reactions in my first channel, and you could check them out. They're pretty old, not the best videos, but I was really amped up for this film. I was excited. I grew up with the original It from 1990, and that movie creeped me out quite a bit as a kid with Tim Curry's Pennywise. And so when I heard that there was going to be a remake, I was pretty hyped about it. And when it came out, I loved it. I thought it was fantastic. I had a really good time with it. And so did some of my friends I was able to watch it with. And my dad, who enjoyed it with me. All in all, it seemed like everybody around me really enjoyed the movie. And how did it hold up all these years later? Well, in my opinion, I think pretty damn good. I still think It 2017 is a damn great horror film that has a lot of good scary moments, had really good characters, the cinematography is beautiful, the directing is stellar, the writing for the most part is consistent and had me caring about the characters and focused a good bit on their individual lives for what I was able to do with this runtime. And I was never bored in any way throughout this film. This movie always had my attention. There was always something interesting going on. And all in all, I still had quite a bit of fun with this. Though there are a few drawbacks in my opinion. For one, I think there are a few jump scares in this film that just did not really work. Now, for the most part, this movie had really good suspense, and I think the usage of elements from the book and previous film, I think were done better here. Though I think some scary moments where it's just trying to like have a jump scare at you and just to like get your attention can be a bit grating at times, but all in all, it was never really that big of an issue. My other issue is of the character of Mike in this film. Out of all the kids in this movie, it seems like to me Mike got the short end of the stick along with Stanley. And while I know that this is a big group of kids that the filmmakers have to work with, I feel like if this movie was given a longer runtime, it could have used it to flesh out the characters of Stanley and Mike a bit more, because while we do get a bit of their backstory with Stanley being a church kid and Mike having some family issues about trying to become a man and live up to what his family wants him to be, I feel like these characters have interesting stories. It just aren't explored deeply enough. Say like Beverly or Bill. Like, I feel like all these characters could have all had their moments to really like grow up as characters, literally and figuratively, and have this group of kids have a bit more camaraderie, because the banter between these characters is great. I think all the kids here do a phenomenal job and they all give stellar performances, including the kid who plays Bill in the film. I think he is fantastic as this character. The girl who plays Beverly, I think, is also a standout. Richie, played by Finn Wolfhard, is one of the funniest characters in the film and is always a scene stealer. But we are all here for Pennywise. And how does Bill Skarsgård live up to the character? In my opinion, I think he's fantastic. This is a different take than what was given by Tim Curry back in 1990, but Bill Skarsgård was still able to bring this character to life with his own interpretation and with his own mannerisms that make him unsettling. And my goodness, he is probably even more unsettling than Tim Curry ever was. With modern day visual effects and practical makeup effects at his disposal, he's able to do so much with his performance, especially with his face, that just makes him feel so otherworldly, like he is a literal alien that's just here to scare the shit out of you. And he actually attempts to try and kill the kids most of the time, whereas Tim Curry likes to fuck around and fuck off. Bill just scares the kids long enough until he's able to actually go up to them and try to kill them before someone stops him in his way and he has to retreat. He actually does make an attempt to try and kill these kids as fast as he can. He doesn't really treat them as like special objects for the final act of the story, which is a problem with the first film that I kind of had that I did not really address in my review. But with this movie, he is unsettling. You are unsure of what he's going to do with you, and Bill Skarsgård just gives a phenomenal performance as his character. I also love all the multiple forms that he is also able to take to try and scare the kids and get into their minds. And they're all creepy in their own ways. The practical makeup effects and visual effects mixed all together, I think, worked very well. And the opening scene where they build up Georgie's death in the movie, I think was phenomenal. It was a great opening to what will be a phenomenal horror film and sets the tone perfectly for what is going to come. All in all, the movie's also, as I said, really well shot and directed. There's a bunch of wide shots of Derry, and you get a sense that while this is a small town, it still somehow feels big, as there's not really a lot of people walking around everywhere, and whenever you do see someone, it always feel unsettling, like they don't either care or don't even notice the world around them. There's something otherworldly about Derry here that just makes the whole town feel like a character in itself, and is the perfect place for someone like Pennywise to try and snatch up a bunch of kids and kill them. It is a great setting, and I think the movie does a good job at exploring the town and its history and why its inhabitants are the way they are. And the bullies here, I think, are very well done too. Henry Bowers is a more ruthless character than he was in the original, and I think his character development and how his backstory affected the way he acts towards other people and his friends and the kids around school, I think helped build him up to be a legitimate threat and not just a one-note bully that just wants to hurt the kids for no reason. And I love how Pennywise was able to manipulate Henry to be able to try and further accomplish each of their goals. It is some really unsettling shit right there that really got under my skin. In the final battle between the kids and Pennywise, as they try to go up against each other, was exciting. Seeing the characters face their fears once and for all and try to step up against this evil clown that's been terrorizing them was such a fulfilling moment for the characters, especially for Bill, who has to get over the fact that Georgie is dead and is not coming back, and his character comes full circle here. This movie felt like it was a complete movie, still leaving open room for a sequel, but as a movie by itself, I still think it works really well as a standalone. Even if you don't watch part 2, this movie is a great standalone horror film that has really good characters, really good scares, had good tension and horror, a few problems here and there to keep it from being perfect, but all in all, I still had a great time watching this film again, and I'm going to give it Chapter 1 an A. Thank you guys so much for watching. Please leave a like, subscribe, comment, and I will see you guys next time.